Yeah. They ain't gonna like it. They ain't gonna like it.
Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And we're going to be taking a look at XG's move number 3. I've already seen number 1, all of the number 2s with all the individual numbers, and now we're looking at number 3. And I think this is the last move before debut, but I know there is a 4th. So I know I will get to that one eventually, but I'm going to try to go in chronological order. So without further ado, let's check it out. It's kind of a common theme that we've seen in holding them like a wolf pack, yeah?
Yeah.
Ah, this is the unmasked version. This is cool. The fact that they did masked as the first one, introduced everybody individually, and then showcased them. You know, I just think that's so cool.
I've been getting to the money.
Nice. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, I think with how they film this, it's pretty hard to really be able to analyze the content. But that's because I've already analyzed it, right? So I will say that the lighting was a big factor into that. The energy here is really cool. Of course they pulled it out. Remember, I was already clocking, hey, I feel like this is an ongoing trend. It's the same choreo, duh. So really nice. The energy is a lot more full. And to finish my thought that I was talking through during the initial reaction was, I really like the fact that they started them off masked and then they did all the individuals and then we see them unmasked as kind of like, here we are, this is the full group, which is super dope. So I'm not gonna lie, that was cool, which I really liked. That was nice. Yeah, so hitting that boom, boom, but notice I don't see everybody, so it is hard for me to kind of take a glean off of the presence off of everyone. Really good job having, honestly, using their hair, fully using their hat as they drop it down and back up. Some people, you'd be surprised that they struggle to utilize their neck in that way healthily. So that was pretty good. The energy there, it's really great on the start on that. Very full. Honestly, it's very impressive that she's hitting it up in a bodysuit with more like a boiler suit underneath. Like, yo, that's hard to have that kind of energy, you know, not having sleeves. Like, you would be very surprised, you know. But I would say some of my notes are still the same. Some of the energy is deriving from the extremities of the arms versus the back. Now, that moment that we saw there, you did notice that they utilized that shoulder a little bit more, which helps carry that stronger. Hair really plays a huge role here. Personality looks great. That looks significantly stronger, which I really like. Diving it in, which is super fun. Yeah, that boom, da da black. That was fun. Yep, so the energy here has naturally gone up because of the performance. Obviously, the location is a little bit different too. They shot this more up in the great big outdoors, and it's honestly harder to perform outdoors. I would say ATs with Pirate King's a great example. The dance practice was really great, but seeing it when they're dancing in the desert or dancing outside, it's harder than natural elements. You're more on a time crunch because of the sensitivity of a schedule with the weather. Like, you can't control the weather, you know. And for me, around this time next week, I have to do that for one of my concept shoots I have. Is the weather very sensitive to the time? Like, we're only allowed inside of a venue for X amount of time, so we have to be very mindful of how we choose to spend that time. Is really my main point. But it is very impressive that they maintain the energy, and it looks really freaking close to what they did in the studio. And that's harder to do, honestly, replicating on both sides than one significantly being like so much better than the other. That's normally what we end up seeing on a couple of cases I've seen now. So that's honestly the most impressive thing. I love the energy there, which is really nice. That was more clear, and I think part of it stems from they did help, the lighting did help with this, but also that we were closer to seeing her angle-wise. It felt more complete, but that section wasn't nearly as easy to pick up on because they used a strobe, and the strobe really it matched the energy of the track, don't get me wrong, but I think it helped make that section more forgiving, but still impactful and powerful. Yeah. Headbang, man. Let that fly, ladies. It's fun. Yep. Her energy is great. I love that. Just the usage. It's just fun. I love her energy. I would say out of everybody, I think she has one of the most animated faces, I think, out of everyone. But all of them are freaking great. They hold their own so well. And they actually brought the camera closer to them on the first one, but here they just did more of a side pan. So it is nice they're in the same outfits. Are they in the same outfits? I think so. My dancer who is here, she's wearing a very similar top as she wore the first time. That's what I'm going to equate it to. It's still impressive. It's still really nice. And it doesn't feel like an idol group. It feels like a dance group. And that's always more of a commendable thing, is it really does look like they really care about their overall, every part of their job task, because remember, like, being an idol is a job technically, you know. They're very mindful in how they're operating within that job task, not just, okay, we're idols, we want to be good at dancing, but like they can hold it down just as dancers if they wanted. And I think that's super cool, and it makes me very appreciative as a dancer to be able to glean and see and be inspired by some of their choices, because when you operate at a 7, it's an odd number. Here it's great, and I do work with groups of 7, 5, 4. Like I've worked with a lot of different numbered groups. So, but with 7, it's a really nice. It's a group that's odd, that really is one of those last numbers where you can get big numbers, keep it with an odd number, but not have it qualify as a large group. So you do end up seeing a lot of groups of 7 or groups of 9 in the competition field. So it's a great group. And I'm looking forward to seeing the debut. I think that's my next thing on my list. So. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this one was a little bit shorter. I think it stemmed from the fact that I had already seen this one before, but this is the unmasked version, which is actually something I think somebody commented on move number 1. So it's kind of cool that I get to actually take a look and see this and see them unmasked. And it was really cool to kind of be a part of that process. And I really think it was a cool choice from the team as a whole to go about it in this way, because it kind of feels like Easter egg, because as people introduce new members, they're going to go back and look at the masked version and see who's who. And I just thought that was really fun. So if you want to see more XG content, I'm actively reacting to it right now at this time of recording this on Patreon. Who knows when this will come out? There's a good chance I'll be done and caught up with XG by the time this one comes out on YouTube. But if you're on Patreon watching this, so glad to catch you here on Patreon, and I'm looking forward to the discussions both on YouTube and Patreon. I'm Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.